Assalamu Alaikum, guys. Have you ever wondered what nature and Islam have to do with each other? Now, my day to day job is being a geography teacher, so my job consists of telling kids about rivers, mountains, rocks, all that exciting kind of stuff. But my true passion is looking at how Islam and nature go hand in hand, and how in the Quran Allah discusses the beauty of nature and why we should respect the creation that Allah has left before us. So, with that being said, let's get started. Now, the Quran backs up why we should respect animals, plants, and the rest of Allah's creations. If you look at verse 10 of Surah Ar-Rahman, it states, He laid out the earth for all beings, not just humans. Now, the earth is about 4.5 billion years old, and we, as humans, have only been around for 300,000 years or less. Now, dinosaurs have been around for 150 million years. You put that into perspective, that's 500 times more than we've been on this planet. So we need to give respect to the rest of Allah's creations in terms of how long they've been here, because they'll be here long after us as well. Now, a bit off topic, but the other week I was teaching my year sevens, and you can imagine them, they got like pure, sweet, innocent minds. So I was just telling them all this about how, dinosaurs have been around for like 150 million years, and we've barely been around on this planet at all. And then all of a sudden, this one little girl just gets up and shouts, Astaghfirullah, sir, how can you believe in dinosaurs? Shaitan put their bones there, they're not even real. And bro, bro, I sat there like, what are you on? Growing up, my nickname was Dinosaur Boy. And the reason for this is in primary school, I didn't make normal friends because I couldn't. And I'm not saying this to be like, oh, pick me, like, oh, I was a cool, really kid. Yo, I knew everything about animals. No, I was just weird. Instead of being able to make normal friends, I just kind of sat somewhere and just recited all the dinosaurs I knew from A to Z. That's because that's all I could do. So being told by a kid that dinosaurs didn't exist was blasphemous to me. And it's just insane how little some people know. And I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean in the term of we need to get everything in the picture about what Islam does say about nature and what it doesn't say as well. Anyways, going back to the Quran, verse 7 and 8 state clearly, As for the sky, He raised it high and set the balance of justice so that you do not defraud the scales. Now, the you being us as humans. Now, the earth has been created on complete balance, as said by the sky has been set. It's been set high. And we shouldn't defraud it. We shouldn't alter it. We shouldn't cause things to disrupt this balance. And these balances are really important because animals rely on each other, and that's a form of balance. And this reliance is completely beautiful. And we can see these kind of almost friendships amongst different species that have nothing to do with each other. And I'm going to use a scientific term, this entire, I was about to say lesson, so the teaching me got in there. This entire video called mutualisms. And mutualisms when two separate species basically interact with each other to survive. Now, the first example of mutualism I'm going to teach you about is between coyotes and badgers. Now, these are two separate predators. One's got a build which is on bulking season, the other's got more of an athletic build. But the one similarity they do have is that they both have the same food source. So what a coyote would do is it would chase a prairie dog or a rat into a burrow, and then the badger, which would be alongside it the entire time, would dig out that rat, and then they would share that food. And it's just beautiful because it shows how this example of mutualism, like the word we said earlier, is complete balance, and these two animals interact with each other. And it just shows how beautiful and intelligent Allah has made these animals. And if you deep it even further, you have to remember this all would have started, who knows, maybe hundreds of thousands of years ago, when one coyote and one badger just interacted with each other, squashed their beef, and then just went, you know what, let's hunt together, and it just worked. And then their offspring did that, their offspring did that, and their offspring did that. And this is evolution and natural selection that we talk about. It's not something we should be scared about. It can be, it doesn't have to mean humans and apes, it can just be simple wise behaviors in animals. Another example of mutualism that we see in the wild is between cleaner wrasse and other fish. Now, cleaner wrasse, as the name suggests, is a type of fish that cleans parasites off other fish, and they're organized about it as well. So the fish will form a queue to be met by the aquatic dermatologist, and this queue will range between small little guppies to sea turtles to sharks. And it just shows that the fact that they can make a queue, they have better manners than a lot of European countries that I've visited over the years. Now, this mutualism is vital for the lives of many ocean dwellers. It's not just simply coming over and exfoliating your skin, because there are parasites in the water. One of the worst parasites is this underwater jinn right here. It's called the tongue-eating louse. And what it does is it eats the tongue of the fish, and then whatever the fish eats, it will eat too. You might be sat there like, okay, yeah, listen, that lives miles on the sea. It ain't gonna bother me. Tough luck. Fishermen catch the fish. Fish goes into fish and chip shop. You eat said fish. You get the picture. This wrasse is really important to you. Okay? It works out. The next example is one of my favorites. Now, this is between the pistol shrimp and gobby fish. Now, let me first talk about how thug the pistol shrimp is. It has a snapping claw that creates a snap, which is 218 decibels. Now, that is louder than a machine gun. So the fact that they call it a pistol shrimp just nerfs what it is. And this snap, to begin with, is just a byproduct of the fact that it shoots a pulse of water at their prey at 62 miles an hour, which knocks them out. And even crazier than that, scientists have analyzed a small little water pulse that it shoots out like a Pokemon, and the temperature of that for a little instant is 5,000 degrees. The sun is 5,500 degrees, or the surface of the sun, that is. So this little shrimp has all these crazy stats just for some shrimp on shrimp violence. It is insane. However, this OP strapped up crustacean isn't invisible to everything, and that's why it lives with this little guy, the gobby fish. Now, when the gobby fish spots a potential predator because it's better eyesight, it uses chemical cues and bolts for cover in a shared burrow. The shrimp relies on these tactile and chemical cues to know when it's safe to hide and when it's safe to come out. And you can clearly see in this relationship who is the reacher and who is the settler. Also, you can see how two unidentical species can have a loving, dependent relationship. They're even homeowners together. And you can't get that Aki to message you back salams on Muzmatch. Last one, really important one, me and my cat. I feed it, I brush it, house it, clip its nails, pay for vet appointments, and clean up its cat litter while it watches. And it cures my crippling depression. So, to summarize, these partnerships are proof of Allah's grand designs. Species that can look completely alien to each other cooperate and exist in a beautiful harmony. And it goes into the fact that we should keep the balance of the planet, because if one animal might go, another one might fall as well, and that can damage a whole ecosystem. And this balance is referred in the Quran countless of times, and it shows how we as Muslims should care about wildlife. Now, I understand there are other problems in the world. We have natural disasters, we have wars, we have things like we've seen in Turkey just a few days ago. But that does not mean that we turn our backs on the rest of Allah's creations. As said earlier, they've been here significantly longer than us and hold the same right to be here as us. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this. The whole point of this channel is to educate the current generation about how Allah tells us to love the environment, hence the name of the channel. I want people to be as passionate as I am when it comes to wildlife and learning about the Quran and how the word of Allah is on our side when it comes to these kind of issues. Now, I'm even guilty of keeping the Quran in the back of my heart. And so this channel itself challenges me to read up and ponder about what the Quran is saying in helping me teach you guys. And inshallah, it does the same for you too. So until next time, Assalamu Alaikum, guys.